to the show where you don't know if it's part of the show. Welcome to the show. If you don't know, it's part of the show. Didn't they teach you to reach for the stars while opening up the bars and keeping you chained down with mortgage bills and cars? Vaccines for your arms, kids sounding like supercharged, caffeinated hate-filled scars and rage-quit repertoires. No answers for yards, caught up in emotion that's not even yours. Imposter truths like impeccable retards, lined up for your serving of Gish Galloping wars. No remedy can save the lost, in love with the yarn. I'm tired of walking into refracted shards, poor science displayed by disgusting bards. Soaked in sin with your dupe is delight in a new hand of cards. Been so long, seems like for love I'm just too hard, I'm just too hard. I said, welcome to the show where you don't know if it's part of the show. Welcome to the show. If you don't know, you don't know. Intoxicated eight makes you believe you're spinning in space while you have no shame or grace. It's a disdainful state I used to contemplate, how to save myself from my own self-hate. Wonder why I was even made with a dreadful fate, forced to try and awake with a full plate. No one to help me stay awake or educate. I've had to liberate and fight through hidden gates. But my brother, heaven could never be late, and rockets don't work in space. It's all fake, the show is on Mars. It's a joke, but you're too far gone, it won't be long. Fepe's beak is strong. We have our song and we march along like streams of knowledge leading to God's holy pond, and lives of truth that hits the bong and sings the song, turns mankind from the wrong. We come in peace with a holy gown and all of us wearing our holy crowns. Said the earth is flat and we probably just won't get along, just to go along. I said, welcome to the show where you don't know if it's part of the show. Welcome to the show. If you don't know, you don't know.
But here's the thing, frickin' banjo and no fanfare. This is all good for us if we don't lose our minds like banjo. Banjo has lost its mind. It's pissing me off.
Always above your sky, day or night. Like for me, I know where Polaris is day or night. It's never moving. I know approximately where the Big Dipper is day or night.
Right.
Okay. So
it's
all I'm
easier to
asking,
see than for somebody like me and like you. We've never been in the South. So to ask me to point out the Southern Cross is not something I've ever done before.
you've never been in the South, Jared?
Oh, boy.
You just said that, not me.
It's something I've never done before. I've never been able to pick out the Southern Cross in the sky. I've never had to do that. Oh, it's so funny. You can't do it either. So show me where the Southern Cross is.
Maybe Freudian slip. Maybe.
Show me the Southern Cross.
Okay.
Yo, did you just say we've never been to the South? I'll agree with you. I've never been there. But,
Yeah,
no.
It's like dealing with. I mean, I'm just done. I don't even want to do this anymore. You guys are.
For somebody like me and like you, we've never been in the South. 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 Never been in the South.
If they're lying, I'm lying.
Ay, Jalisco, no te rajes.
They're not questionable.
Nursery which adds the 33 because I'm a Masonic shield.
I know them. I've met them. I've hung out with them. I consider them good friends.
Because I'm a Masonic shield.
So at least we know we have two solid guys.
For somebody like me and like you, we've never been in the South. Never been in the South.
Never been in the South.
Never been in the South. Never been in the South. Never been in the South.
All right, everyone. Welcome to the show. Hello, Kevin. Hello, Rick. We got Rick and Kevin here. What's going on, Kevin? I play this Mexican music because, you're from New Mexico. You are familiar with the mariachis. Have you heard of the Los Tres Shields?
No.
Yeah, famous mariachi band, Los Tres Shields.
Yeah.
I had to put it together, man, because, sometimes I get comments. People have been defending, David Wise. I mean, since 2024, very early, he was very vocal against me because I was speaking out. I saw the whole thing was a movie with actors, and he tried to shut me up, He told me in private message, don't talk about this stuff, don't talk about stuff. But I had to speak out, man. The whole thing was a shame. And Kevin, you did a great job with the TFE PSYOP, man. That video hit, was great. So welcome to the show, Kevin.
Thank you so much. I appreciate you having me. It's always an honor being with you, Eddie. This has been quite a few times since I've been on this show. So thank you yet again. I forget the last time I was on. It hasn't.
Yeah, man. It was. I think it was before TFE. I think it was before.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So, Kevin, we got Rick here with us. Rick, we were just talking this week. He liked your show. I said, well, your last video, Flat Earth Advanced. I said, well, join us, man, because, it's going to be a great show. So, Rick, welcome to the show.
Yeah, thanks for having me. I really appreciate you guys inviting me on. I did love your video. I got to admit, I watched your interview the other day with Gene, too. It was pretty good. So I was kind of excited to be able to ask you some questions personally. I was like, that's pretty cool.
Yeah, absolutely. Me and Gene were able to pop off. So I'm hoping and praying that I'm able to do that with you guys today. But I'm just really comfortable with Gene. I've known him for a long time. I really respect him as a flat earther. He's really knowledgeable. But even as a person, I know him on a pretty personal level as well. And I love the guy. So I think that's why it turned out as good as it did, but I'm praying for the same thing today.
Yeah, it turned out, I told you, man, I really enjoyed the interview. So shout out to Gene, Edit, great guy, So yeah, let's get started. Good job, Kevin, with that video. We're going to talk about it. Shout out to all people in the chat. Welcome, everyone. We have Crystal, Yuko from Japan here, my good friend. People from all over the flat earth. So, Kevin, let's talk a little bit before. I want to do the opposite. Instead of talking your math, Flat Earth Advanced, I want to start with the end, the star trails, I was just talking. Yeah. So let me share something that I have here. You've been to South America. Mm-hmm. You know how the things work. You heard Jaron say he has no idea. I don't think he has never been to the South. He said that, he has never been to the South. So look at this guy here. There wasn't TikTok, You fell for an internet conspiracy, but brother explained the opposite rotating stars in the northern hemispheres and southern hemisphere. How do we all see the same face of the moon? Okay, and then I answer him seriously. Do you think stars in the south rise west and set east? Are you that ignorant on how all the stars move? Because, man, look, okay, You have the Atlantic Ocean here, North America. The same Atlantic Ocean is here in Brazil. So our stars rise east and set west. I mean, there's no secret. And I was showing here, Rick, just a couple minutes before. Kevin, are you familiar with this University of Nebraska animation here?
I've seen something similar, yes.
Yeah, I will place the link in the chat. It's pretty easy, like here you facing north, you see the stars rising east, setting west. You face south, stars rise east, face west. I mean, stars always rise east and face west. No matter if you're looking east, it's gonna rise in front of you and set on your back. You turn around, you face west, they rise behind your back and set in front of you. I mean, this is so basic, I don't know why these Globers, I don't know. What you have to say about it, Kevin?
No, it's exactly right. Under your celestial dome, they're going to raise from the east and set in the west. So it's not subject just to the equator. And they say, oh, like Professor Dave, oh, if you're out the equator, that's when you'll see it happening. It's like, no, you can just go out in your backyard and watch it happening, So, but that is our celestial dome causing that effect for sure.
Exactly. And we all have our own personal dome. What you see here, if I go down, a couple parallel here south of the equator, we're going to see something different. And then that's how it goes,
That's a cool
effect.
effect. I like that. Cool graphic.
All right, so now Rick is more interested in your math parts. I mean, I really enjoyed it, and we watched it.
The whole thing. I like the whole thing, Eddie. But as long as you're on the star parts, I mean, I think one of the coolest things you kind of brought up, at least in that video, that really struck me was kind of how you pointed out that it's funny how with all the movement in the heliocentric model, that the only one that's observable is the least. The least movement possible is the spin of the Earth, with all the corkscrewing through the universe and all the stuff that it stays in that spot. And I think that's probably one of the things that really stands out to me is it should be more than obvious, but you kind of made it kind of clear with that in that video, how we should be seeing something more than just that. And
yeah, absolutely. Thank you. I think the visual definitely brought it home too, because a lot of people aren't familiar with the visual, and I found that one that I haven't really seen before, and it showed the trajectory, right, of all the other motions, and then I faded it into a time lapse of a trajectory over here in the north of the stars going counterclockwise. So like after you see them like back to back, then it's really hard to deny, and like you said, yeah, it's the least significant motion that the Earth is supposed to be doing. That's the effect that we see. It's like,
yeah, it's only 1,000-mile-an-hour spin, and yet that's the only one you notice. The stars don't change with all the other rotations, and it just makes zero sense for sure.
0 sense, exactly. And the North Star Polaris staying in the same relative position. What is the North Star doing? Just following along with us?
Exactly. Yeah.
Like, it doesn't take too much smarts to figure that out. And I know that that's a lot of people's aha moment. So that's why I put that in the video as well, towards the end too, after I went over like a lot of information. Because one of my buddies over at the Ninja Warrior gym I go to, that's actually what he said. That's what woke him up. He was like, dude, after I seen that visual, like it was my aha moment. It was like, there's no going back after that. So it's like, okay, if it's important to him, if it's important to other people, then I need to put that in there, because it's something that is pretty basic for us flat earthers, like something that we learned a long time ago, but a lot of people still aren't aware of it. So
yeah, I was aware of it and always questioned it in my mind. I just thought the way you worded it, with it basically being the least significant motion, and yet that's the only one we see, when the other ones are so much bigger motions, faster speeds, that there should be something else pointing. And I like that. I guess that sentence alone kind of hit home with me.
Thank you, Rick. I appreciate it.
All right, so Kevin, you spent some time in Argentina, right? Is that Argentina? You went to Argentina, right?
Both in
Chile?
Santiago, Chile, and then Buenos Aires, Colin, Argentina.
Did you get to look at the night sky there, the Southern Cross?
So in Chile, I didn't because it was really foggy over there. So the population of Chile is in between LA and New York. So didn't really spend too much time over there. And then whenever I was in Argentina, I honestly should have done way more observation than I did because I had an opportunity to. But no, I wasn't really focused on the stars when I was there, to be honest.
Okay, so I want to share something with you here. You know, I mean, I grew up looking. You know, this is what we did as kids. You know, finding the crooks in the sky. You know, it's in our, you know, in the Brazilian flag. So I want to show you something here that if any Globers ever talk to you about it. So what happens in the in the South, you know, in Brazil, or, you know, South America. So the Southern Star, you know, the crooks, there's a point of rotation. Okay.
Yes.
And this I got from the Brazilian astronomy website. It's not made by flat earthers. There's a point in the sky. Okay. So let's say that you're looking south. Okay. The star is going to rotate around this point. But there is a problem here because when the star rotating is here, it hides around the horizon. I mean, behind the horizon, but they cannot claim that in Australia is the same star because it's not high enough in Australia. See what I mean? You need this point here, which is several degrees, maybe 30 degrees above the sky, and then there's the Southern Cross rotates around it. So when it's down here, it's never high enough in Australia. You know, so there's a big. You understand, right? What I say, what I'm trying to say.
I'm getting it.
This is all from the Brazilian astronomy website. Okay, so it rotates around a point, but whenever it's south, okay, it's never high enough in the sky of Australia or South Africa or deep in the Pacific. So it cannot be the same star unless it's like a reflection, you know, whatever. And I want to point out this is from I gotta find it here, man. Sometimes I save and then I'm so, you know, excited about it. I forget where I placed the link. I might have to find here, but there's a guy. What's his name? Anthony Powell. It's a Glober, and he went to Mount Nebus in New Zealand. I mean Antarctica, and he filmed the stars. You know, like the stars trail there, and it's just like it goes sideways. You know?
Really?
Yeah. So I'm gonna find this link here. Give me a minute. All right. So
he's a globe weaver.
yeah. So I'm gonna find here. Hang on. You can talk to Rick here. I'm gonna show his star trail here. Let me.
While he's looking for that, I guess I'll just kind of bring up, you know, because like I say, I appreciate the way the whole video came together. One of the things looking at it, and I think the impact that we had of your daughter being involved and so deep in it, you know, I mean, that it not only sparked interest in me, but my grandchildren, who are over, I'm quite a bit older than you, but they all of a sudden were paying attention. You know, when she was kind of explaining and you were having her do the demonstration of spinning that pipe and showing how they were trying to even ask me. So it's kind of unique, you know, when I kind of look at what you're doing, I think that it's pretty smart. And by bringing the whole family in, you know, let her, like, even in the beginning, you know, you had her asking the questions and helping with the math. I was like, that's a really good way to show that, well, besides your being a good dad and teaching her, you know, and getting her involved, I think it gets an impact on everybody else to let you know that even kids can, you know, figure this out. You know, she's obviously smart enough to help you with the 8 inches per square mile, you know, which, you know, we quote it all the time, but to actually see how we get that, you know, it's so easy to use calculators, an online calculator, but to be able to actually mathematically figure it out and see, having her help you, I was kind of excited about that. It was definitely a good thing, that part of the video that I think gave it a lot of oomph but just kind of wanted you to know.
No, I thank you so much. I'm very close with my daughter. Me and my daughter have a very tight connection, and she's been on board with this since as long as she can remember. So she's 11. I've been doing this for about 10 years now, so you can only imagine. But yeah, she was a huge influence, and she was a huge help for the video. But thank you for recognizing, because that makes me feel good knowing that it's hitting other age groups, you know? Like, oh, if this little girl can do it, if she's understanding it, can I understand it too, type of thing, like with your grandkids. So that's awesome to hear, to be completely honest. But yeah, she was like my biggest help in the video by far. And she gets it too. You know what I mean? Like, she's pretty well versed for being an 11-year-old girl on the subject too. Like, I was showing her how a lunar eclipse works on the heliocentric model, and she instantly pointed out, "Oh, you have a 3-body problem, Dad." I was like, "Oh, yes, I don't even have to tell you."
Yeah, that was pretty interesting when you brought that, because you kind of got into the whole 3-body problem thing. And, you know, it's, for me, I've been wanting to introduce the kids more to all this. You know, I mean, my kids know it, but they're older. So the grandchildren now are the ones that, you know, I kind of would like to get things going more for them. And I think even Eddie and me have been talking, you know, other people have been putting up, we got to come up with more ideas for the kids. So just getting them involved in the videos itself, I think, was a smart move.
Yeah, thank you. Thank you so much. I actually watched my video for the first time all the way through at my barbershop yesterday. And that's one of the first things that the barber noticed. He was like, "Hey, was that your daughter?" I was like, yeah. I was like, "Dude, that was awesome." So,
yeah.
So to know that that was like one of the first things he noticed in the video was my daughter doing a voiceover in the beginning was cool. I was like, yeah, she has a part in this. So, but yeah, I thank you for that. Appreciate it.
All right, Kevin, this is the Anthony Powell. He's the guy who, I think in 2015, had the 24-hour sun, that video that loops, you know? So it's the same. Yeah, that one. That's the guy. So look at his Facebook. Anthony Powell's post. That's the star trails, man.
Oh my
Look
gosh.
at this. The stars moving behind Mount Erebus during the Antarctic winter. The glow from the lava lake is lighting up the steam coming out of the crater. Stacked series of photos from a time-lapse video sequence I did a while back. There you see the star trails, man, in Antarctica.
Wow. That's a trip. If that's not a dead giveaway, I don't know what is.
It's right there, man. It's right there. So stars goes from right to left. I'm gonna paste this in the, you know, y'all guys have to save this and save the picture. So it's Anton Power Star Trail, Antarctica, Star Trail Antarctica, because you know, I mean, that alone, man, shows that the stars really moves from east to west. It's all perspective.
100%.
You know. So the stars don't say that. So the even the argument of the Southern Cross that goes down, no, they all go sideways. Somehow, I don't see. That's the thing. Like, if we had somebody there, one of our like real flat earther, you know, 80 degrees south, you know, recording all that stuff, but we don't have anybody. You know, we don't. We just don't.
A real flat earther, right? Someone
exactly. We don't, man. But this is a great to know. Like you see there, right there, he is in Antarctica, Mount Erebus right there, and that's the star trails from his own mouth. You know, so
those are almost like straight lines too. Like there's no arc on it really. Like that's wow, that's pretty cool.
Yeah, yes.
Really
if you remember that old animation by I think it was what's his name, a Paul Shift, that shows the the dome rotating around the flat Earth. That's what it looks like right here.
That's very interesting. That makes me believe that the stars are within the firmament, then like all the way down to the end, instead of it just being like in the layer of the ether above, and they're not all just on one layer. You know what I mean? This makes me out the firmament.
That's what one of my questions.
For the longest time, I thought, like, after seeing this, it completely changes my mind, because I thought all the stars were just like a ceiling on like above the 73 miles of the ether, and they were all rotating like this. And then our celestial dome was causing the effect of it
Yeah,
arcing like that, right?
That was kind of the image that you gave in your video. That's what I was kind of questioning that myself, trying to figure it out.
But after seeing this, no, that's a dead giveaway that they are embedded within the firmament all the way until.
Which is kind of what the scriptures are telling us. You know, I mean, that's kind of what it says. But either way, they would have been in the firmament. It's just trying to figure out how, or, you know, it's kind of beyond.
Yeah.
Gotta save this picture here, you know.
Yeah, that's a good one.
Yeah, that's a really good one.
Yeah, but that's the guy, man. That's Anthony Power, and I think Duffy even interviewed him, you know. But you can't deny it, you know. The stars are moving here sideways all the way, and he's facing south because, you know, Mount Erebus is farther south in Antarctica. He's facing Mount Erebus. I don't know if you know the story of this. Back, I think it was in 1970 something. There used to be a sightseeing flight from New Zealand over the edge of Antarctica and then coming back. And there was a big, I think it was 747 that crashed into that mountain.
Yep.
So the story goes, you know, it just crashed. But some people, you know, I researched a little bit. Maybe the pilot wanted to go further south and he was shot down, you know?
Yeah. Yeah, that's what
Yeah.
very likely, right?
Very likely.
You can't, yeah.
He was heading down south, like farther than they were supposed to go, and then he was shut down. I heard this story. That was years ago. Other, you know, the official narrative is that he just crashed into this volcano, this mountain, but, you know, we never know.
Yeah. It's a very suspicious flight for sure.
Yeah. All right, Kevin, I play normally 2 songs during the show, so I'm going to go ahead and play our first song, and that's a song that Rick put up together. So let's take a listen, okay?
Absolutely.
It's not what you don't know. It starts when you're just a tot, learning life from a screen you got. Cartoon to space and dinosaurs before they send you out the door. To a school full of scripted lines where truth is buried behind the signs. They hide the king, the lord of all, with polished lies in every hall. A cowboy preacher used to say, it's not what you don't know, it's what you know that ain't so, that brings you down along the way. Our minds get stuck in shifting sand, but we were made to make a stand. We need the rock, the cornerstone, to know we're never all alone. It's for lack of knowledge we're destroyed, too proud to bend, too proud to see. It all started with that famous tree. Country folk, gospel fine, brass and spine. Yes, we grow with muddled minds. They shape the truth for their design. They teach us what they want us to be, blind to the change we cannot see. They laugh and mock in plain daylight, while hiding truth right in our sight. The movies whisper facts and clues, while the news spins tales to you. A cowboy preacher used to say, it's not what you don't know, it's what you know that ain't so, that brings you down along the way. Our minds get stuck in shifting land, but we were made to make a stand. We need the rock, the cornerstone, to know we're never all alone. It's for lack of knowledge we're destroyed, too proud to bend, too proud to see. It all started with that famous tree. Now you're grown, the head of the place, but the lies still stare you in the face. People struggling just to get by, while profits soar on every slide. Casinos flash, the banks still grin, even churches buy into the spin. Leaders lie and sell us out with smiling teeth and whispered doubt. And if you wonder why this season feels like there's no sense of reason, you're standing in the dragon's den. It's Satan's little time again. A cowboy preacher used to say, it's not what you don't know, it's what you know that ain't so, that brings you down along the way. Our minds get stuck in shifting sand, but we were made to make a stand. We need the rock, the cornerstone, to know we're never all alone. If for lack of knowledge we're destroyed, too proud to bet too blind to see it all started with that cursed tree.
All right, we're back here. Great song, Rick.
Thanks. You know my style.
That was good, Rick.
Yeah. I want to just highlight a comment here about this. Since we're talking about the stars, let me see here. Bunch of Flatwood. Okay, this comment here. Did you see Flat Earth's last video about straight lines? It's talking about the star trails. So I gotta check that out. I know Flat Earth. He made a whole bunch of videos in the past. He took like 2 years, being away from his channel. Now he's back. So I gotta check that out. So thanks for the comment. So what are you working? Do you have any plans, Kevin? Anything coming up? What are your plans now for as far as videos?
As far as production, so
Yeah.
I have one that I'm actually taking a little clip, one of your videos. It's this guy giving a testimony. I commented on it a while ago, but it's only like a 5-minute video. And then I'm going to embed some of my personal observation of Venus and then just kind of explain that. So that should be pretty easy to put together. Another one that I started for my church actually is Biblical Cosmology 101. And it's just going to be a presentation that I'll just do a voiceover, just going over, comparing the globe model to what the Bible actually teaches, just being able to like teach it to kids. But since I'm not doing it in the kids ministry anymore, because it has to get approved, I'll make it a little more like complex. So I'll go into like the biblical usages of the words and the lexicons and kind of go over the history of the King James and why I'm preaching out of that one and different things like that. But I want people to know, yeah, like you can prove this on a scientific basis, but this is also very biblical based as well. Because that's what I didn't do in my most recent video. I mentioned the Bible. I always do in every single one of my videos, or I try to rather. But this one's going to be like strictly biblically based. So, and that'll, like I said, it'll be just a presentation voiceover. So I don't plan on scripting it or anything like that. I'll just go slide by slide and just talk.
Well, that's great. That seems like your church is on board, right, with Flat Earth?
A lot of them are. Absolutely. A lot of people at my church are. Like, I sent all my videos to my pastor. And my pastor came up to me last Sunday and he was like, bro, that video you put together, he was like, you really had me thinking, and just like gave me like mad props on the video. And like, I'm not saying like he's 100% on board with it, but he's definitely not against it. You know, like he's not getting up there and preaching about it or anything yet. Right. But my church is the only church who stayed open during 2020 in New Mexico or in Albuquerque. Right. So it kind of brings in that conspiracy type of people to begin with, you know, and I've made a lot of good friends within the church that are already on board with it. But there's also quite a few people that I've woken up thanks to them watching my videos and whatnot. So because I'm pretty established within my church now. I'm the captain teacher on the kids ministry and whatnot. So I'm a trusted person, you know. It's like they don't just think I'm crazy. So it is accepted over there. I'm not saying everyone's on board over there, but there are quite a few different people over there. It's not a small church.
Well, it's kind of nice when you think about it. I mean, it's really hard to argue. The Bible says what it says. I mean, we see all these preachers, and all, the Hovins and all the people that are out there that, they're all biblically based, and they'll even admit the Bible's biblically, the cosmology is flat earth, but it's not true. And it's always bothered me. But I mean, even if I was a preacher and was, serious about the Bible, even if I would believe in the heliocentric system because I was, ingrained and indoctrinated in it, it wouldn't be very wise to ever say that it's wrong because the Bible is clear. But, it's, I think for you, it's kind of cool that you're at that point. And I was kind of curious, listening to your other interview, you mentioned that you were taking some classes from Dean Odell and, something along that lines. And I was curious how you were pulling that off, because I knew you're not in the same neighborhood. So I was like, is that like an online deal or how does that work?
Yeah, it's an online ministry. So it's an online school. So last semester I took 2 classes, and then this semester I was going to slow it down a little bit. So I'm just taking 1 class this semester. But yeah, it's all online, and then they give you different assignments that you have to finish by a certain time. One of the cool parts about this ministry, though, is that they give you evangelism assignments, right? And one of the things that you're allowed to go evangelize about is biblical cosmology. It's like I was doing that before either way. So
I've seen your videos. I love the one where you're challenging the NASA guys. You went right into the booth out there and challenging them. And that one guy got pretty frustrated when you called him at the end on it. I was like, kudos to you for standing up and just saying what had to be said. I was loving
absolutely.
that.
Thank you. That's
have you been talking to any pilots lately, Kevin?
Absolutely. That's another video I have on the way. I have a 3-part pilot video to where I interviewed 3 pilots. So I don't want to give too much away about that one. It's just you'll see 3 interviews in one video. Let's put it that way. And there was a little clip of it in my most recent video of me talking to the pilot about the
I saw that one I had not seen before.
I know. Yeah. So I'm gonna play the whole one here soon. So thank you for reminding me of that production. That'll be really easy to put together too. So I'll just add the subtitles on that one and it'll be good. So it's just like proof that, hey, not all pilots are in on it like people think, like, oh, this is such a big conspiracy, my brain can't handle it, everybody must be in on it. It's like, no, it's departmentalization when it comes to NASA. And when it comes to pilots, they're just guys doing their job. You know what I mean? A lot of them don't think that critical about it. They're like, oh, well, there must be some device compensating for curvature. Well, if you really understand the mechanisms of the attitude direction indicator, then you would know that the plane's staying level. Even the pilot admits that he's keeping his nose up to maintain a straight and level flight. And then I asked him at the end, but like I said, I don't want to give out too much because I don't ruin the video, but
right.
There are a few more of that one too. Yes.
Yeah. Now, you brought me back to this. You probably heard of Dr. Afonso Vasconcelos. He's a geophysicist in Brazil, seismologist, and he owns his own, oil rigs, and he came out as a flat earther, he came out a couple of years ago. He was from the University of São Paulo, Brazil. And then, he always worked with the flat earth model because in seismology, you have to assume earth is flat, Mm-hmm. And, but he said that one thing that really changed his mind. He took a flight from the east coast of Brazil straight to the Amazon, like a 5 hours long flight from east to west, right at the equator. What happened is when they landed in the Amazon, it wasn't like an airport, it was like in the middle of the jungle. So the aircraft suffered damage, when they landed, it was damaged. So they had to go back, and half of the crew didn't want to get on the plane anymore because it was damaged. But the pilot said, no, let's go back. We got to make it back. And one of the things that wasn't working, a couple of things that wasn't working. I think the attitude indicator wasn't working. A couple of things there. I think the compass. But the pilot said, no, I know how to fly this stuff. Let's go back. So he sat next to the pilot. And he observed, and then he asked questions. And then he said, well, how do you know? How come you don't compensate? And the pilot said, because the earth is not curved. We don't have to compensate. He only flies like 2 fingers above the horizon. He calculates his front window. That's how he flew back. And then when he 4 hours later, he was in the city where they took off from, and that convinced him. That's how he got convinced.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
Yes, a lot of pilots do know for sure. I've
man.
gotten a lot of pilots to admit it. So
And just go back to the time when they didn't have all this technology. They had to fly, based on the stars. They had navigators.
Right. Back in the day, they were using the 3-ring axis gimbal gyroscope, but nowadays it's a laser gyroscope, right? But a laser gyroscope just proves that there's ether and proves that the Earth doesn't spin to begin with, the fact that they're even using one. But they've upgraded the technology, yeah. But back in the day, it was just a free-bearing mechanism gyroscope. It's like, how do people not see that? And it's not like gravity's selective. Gravity's pulling on one part of the airplane to keep the gyroscope level. It's like that's their excuse. Oh, it's gravity. It's like, okay, well, why isn't gravity pulling on the rest of the airplane? It's just pulling on one part. Like, I don't get it.
Exactly. Yeah, man. Why doesn't pull down the left wing? Yeah, man. It doesn't make any sense, All right, so let me see if I have a couple comments here that I need to address. Kevin, I'm like you, man. Now I need my reading glasses.
These are actually these are blue light glasses, for the record.
Oh, okay, man. I need some reading glasses
I
now.
always use blue light glasses when I'm on a screen.
It's getting hard to see, man. All right, so we did a couple shows with Vika. The problem is that his time zone, where I am right now, where he is in Europe. Right now it's like 3 a.m., 4 a.m. It's really bad for us to get together. I haven't had a show with him in years, man.
He actually invited me to be a part of his live stream, but it's over TikTok, and I don't have TikTok. And
okay.
He's like, you have to download it. There's such a good community over there, and tell me like I should. And I've thought about it. Don't get me wrong. I just am not a TikTok guy.
Yeah, what got me into TikTok was my daughters, actually. My daughters had to, before TikTok, before 2020, used to be called Musical.ly. It was just a silly app that you pretended to be singing, like fake singing, lip syncing, and dance. So I still got some videos we did, like, I think back in 2018, me and my daughters, just silly videos, and that was it. And then turned into TikTok, and then it became all this, especially in 2020 with the pandemic. There was no censorship, man. So that was good time. People were really speaking out through TikTok. So really, I think this is how it really got popular, because of the 2020 pandemic.
I can imagine.
Yeah. So, short videos, people used to have only 1 minute, and then they raised to 3 minutes. Now you can go for as long as you want. You have live streams, you have an entire 60 minutes video, so yeah, they changed it.
Cool. That's cool. I didn't know that.
I enjoy looking, and I was talking to Rick yesterday. We had a talk, I think it was 2 days ago. Kevin, Flat Earth is exploding in such a way, because I see videos in Spanish popping up. So many of them, man. And here in Asia, I see the Philippines, in Tagalog, Philippine, and Indonesia. I mean, it's exploding, man. I mean, you can't stop.
Absolutely. It's so cool to see. Like, 10 years ago, this was such a taboo subject to where you would get so ridiculed and so laughed at right away. And now it's like, oh, you don't know a flat earther? Like, you're the crazy one. Do you really think you live on an uncontained spinning wet water rock with people walking upside down in South America, Africa, and Australia right now? It's like, do you really think that's true? And just make them feel stupid,
Yeah.
Yeah, and I think the scriptures itself, when you start considering, how it works, but it's been this way always. The harder that that the scriptures are resisted by the evil, the more it actually works against them. That's the way it's always been that way. When they try to kill the more they martyr, the more they kill these people off, the stronger it gets. It's kind of always been that way. And I think, that's why when you see stuff like TFE and all those things go on, all that happens is it's like, thanks for the advertisement, because a lot of people weren't paying attention, and all you're doing is flushing out all the ones that are, shills and making real people question, well, why is this a big deal? So, and I think the same thing's going on with the Little Season stuff now. That's a really big topic. I see more and more videos about it as time goes. So I'm interested to see where that goes. And, I've watched a lot of different people that have different arguments, on that side. I think like that Alyssa Hayes, you just posted some of her videos, and she's kind of against the Little Season, kind of includes it as being a preterist type of thing from what I can tell, but yet most of her stuff's so cool. She's super strong, flat earther, I'm like, and I dig her style, so it's like, but either way, it doesn't matter if it's preached. It's kind of like, they said, some people preach Christ out of strife. This is a scripture that's, some people preach it out of envy. I just praise God it's preached. Doesn't matter to me, because all it's going to do is bring more people to pay attention. So I'm all about preach it. We'll see how it turns out in the end. But
yeah, when it comes to the TFE thing, that's why it really had a negative effect on them, and it then really has to make people wonder, like, if they're going to go that far out of their way to fake a 24-hour sun in Antarctica, what makes you think that it's real? It's like, if they had to fake it, then that means it's not a thing. That means the earth is flat and we win.
It's just like the whole concept of YouTube and everybody, they had to try to stop it because they said it was blowing up. Like Eddie says, everything was just flourishing. So they start shadow banning everybody, and they start all that's doing is bringing it more credibility. Because if it was that stupid and that dumb, and as you know, all of us, none of us were born this way. We went through the same indoctrination center. So everybody that's become a flat earther that you almost knows, had come to it like we did. They're like, wait a minute, it should be easy to prove wrong. And it's not. That's the problem.
Absolutely. Go test it yourself, right?
Yeah.
I liked TFE, to be honest, because it exposed all of the shills. Everybody came out with the same script. Everybody came out saying the same stuff. And I was like, oh my gosh, this can't be real. And then like, it just really put everybody out there who was just completely exposed. Hey, Eddie, did you like how I put a clown face over Austin during the video?
Yeah. Yes.
Yeah.
Because what happened was I really needed that clip, right? Because I already knew I was going to use that clip because I needed a globe defender defending the star trails, right, in the southern hemisphere. And Austin was in it, and I was like, I can't have him in it.
Yeah, you did great, man. You did great. I as a matter of fact, Kevin, I want to ask you, is that okay if I mirror your video maybe next weekend or a couple of weeks from now?
Yeah, absolutely. I think my views are being sabotaged either way, so it's not going to.
Yeah. They just changed the algorithm of YouTube again. I think like a week ago, they changed it again. So I don't know. So someone was asking me if I had this deck of cards for sale. No, I don't. I can't. I can't have their faces, and commercialize and sell. It's just for fun. But that's the TFE team right here, man. All of them together right here. And of course, there are more behind the scenes that we don't know. But these are the main characters pushing the whole TFE thing. And that's why I played that video, man, because this guy here, he was mad when I started speaking against this guy here. He was defending him just like pea and carrots, man.
So David Weiss actually wrote me like a huge paragraph on my How to Spot a PSYOP Final Experiment Edition video. But the comment didn't show up in the public comments. You have to go to YouTube and then go to the analytics of the video to actually find that comment. I was like, why is this comment like not like in public view. It was just really suspicious, and he was just like, "Oh, you think I'm a shill?" and blah 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 blah. It was just a lot of nonsense. It's not even worth reading.
Oh yeah, yes, yeah, man. It's there's a clip here I saved. Let's play this clip here real quick, and then we go on. Where is it? I think it's this one right here.
I've been your best friend since we were 7 years old, Truman. Only way you and I ever made it through school was by cheating off each other's test papers. Jeez, they were identical. But I always felt safe knowing that. Because whatever the answer was, we were right together and we were wrong together. Remember that time I stayed up with you all night in your tent because you wanted to play North Pole? And I got pneumonia? You remember that? You were at school for about a month. You're the closest thing I ever had to a brother, Truman.
But, well, the point is, I'd gladly walk in front of traffic for you.
Point is, I would gladly step in front of traffic for you, Truman.
And the last thing I'd ever do is lie to you.
And the last thing that I would ever do is lie to you. I mean, think about it, Truman. If everybody is in on it, I'd have to be in on it, too. I'm not in on it, Truman, because there is no it.
I really enjoyed this clip because that's how those guys were talking. Like especially David Wise. Oh, do you think I'm a shield? Do you think I'm a shield? Just like Marlo, man.
Yeah, it was bad. It was so bad.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But it was great, man. Expose all of them at the same time. So
right.
And that's what I told several guys. Don't let these guys to come over your channels because, I mean, it's gonna be bad for you. But I don't know. Each one decided what they want to do.
Well, it's nothing new. I mean, when we look at the scriptures again and you start realizing that, Christ sitting with all his disciples was clear when he looked at them all and he says, and one of you is going to betray me, and they all kind of looked at each other like, which one of us is it? It's they weren't seeing it, they weren't recognizing it, but he'd been there that whole time. And of course, he's the money bag holder, which, it's usually a clue, but you can see it's happening to the same thing everywhere. They've always been infiltration. That's what it's about. But
And I've always known Robbie Davidson was a shill. Like I never trusted him. I never went to any of his conferences. He looks like an actor. It's like, how did people buy into that? Like, it was just ridiculous. And I was expressing with Gene the other week, how other people are shills is how often they're putting out like productions and how like I'm talking like full blown productions. I'm not talking like mirroring stuff like you do, Eddie. That's kind of easy to do, right? But the guy D Marble, he was putting out like full blown productions like every other day type of thing. And that guy looks like an actor, right? And then pretending that he's in the back of a RV filming his videos when he has full 4K HD and his videos are flawlessly edited and he's putting them out like every other day. It's like, how did people like look at him and think he was real? It's like so many people. And Austin, he made me suspicious like a little bit back in the day, but I honestly fell for him. I'm not even going to try to lie to you. It was TFE that really exposed it. Like, if I would have known he was a shill, I would have punched him in the face when I met him. No, but like he was good, you know what I mean? But he was almost too good to the point where he was like, okay, like this information is like being fed to him to where he has a rebuttal for every single thing that he gets into. It's like every single debate, like he was like really, really good. And I just thought he was a smart guy. It's like, oh, come to find out, a lot of the information was probably just given to him. You know, it's like who was able to come up with the kinematic equation for the gravitational constant and the downward electrical currents. Like, where do you come up with this stuff? Like that's like pretty impressive stuff there. And then come to find out, oh, all of that information was probably given to him to put him on a pedestal so people start following him to get you to believe that the final experiment was real. It's like, dude, come on, guys, connect the dots. Like, I was able to unplug, like they should be able to. I didn't fall for every shill, you know what I mean? But he was one of them where I did fall for a period of time for sure.
Yeah. Well, you know, the very first video when he invited Duffy and he was all cozy with him, I said, well, something's wrong with these guys, you know. I mean, and then nowadays, if you listen to, go back to 2016 Odyssey, you watch Jaron's old videos, and now you start thinking about, man, this guy is not being genuine, you know. You see how fake he was, you know. I mean, he was pretending the whole time.
Right. Yeah, I think he was a paid off shill the whole time too. I was always suspicious about him for sure. I never trusted him.
So yeah, one good thing about TFE is just expose all of them, so they can go ahead. I don't think there is any, especially in Brazil. The Globers there, and I followed, you know, debates in Brazil, all that stuff, and the Globers say, no, we are not using TFE for anything, because they know, even the Globers in Brazil know there is fakery going on, so that they are not using TFE for any evidence of a globe at all.
Yeah, that's good.
Yeah. So it's going to be like just for themselves, you know, it's just going to feed other anti-flat earthers. That's what's going to happen with this documentary, you know.
Go for it. They were lost to begin with, you know. It's like, if they can't let go of their pride, their ego, their worry of reputation, and just let them be, you know.
Yeah. Oh, I found a video, Kevin, that I was talking about a while ago. Let me show you here real quick. This is the animation.
Oh, cool. Yeah.
It was made a couple of years ago. Let me go full screen here. And you see here how the stars, he did it all the way down in Antarctica, and showing like how they go, see there, from east to west. So it kind of, the one that Anthony Powell put out kind of looks like the same. See there?
Yep.
Yeah, so I found this really interesting. So, you know, I hope he doesn't take down his post, because it's been there since, I think, 2016, 17. And there is another video that I want to show you. Look at this comment, another Glober. Okay. So, flat earthers, how does your sun work? You know, why doesn't it get smaller as it moves away? So I put together those sunsets in real. I mean, all you have to do, just search for sunsets in Rio, and you find, look at the tiny sun going away. This is in Rio de Janeiro. Okay. Of course, they posted on TikTok, so the video is vertical, but see how tiny it is. And Kevin, in Brazil, I used to witness this sunset, you know, all the time, you know, like that's how it goes, just goes away.
Well,
see there?
Yeah, Kevin, you got a video a couple of years ago called "Shrinking Sun" or something like that, didn't you?
I have a few of them, but I went a little bit further in the video "God's Local Sun." Not sure if you watched that one. It's called "God's Local Sun," and what I did is I did a time lapse from a very high elevation, one at 2.2 miles high, and the other one at 1.1 miles high. And what I did is I put on a solar filter to block out all the obstructions. And from a high elevation, you do get the sun shrinking in a time lapse. There's no debating that. So, but I think whenever you're at sea level, right, it can cause a glare, or even a refraction to where it's refracting as it's going down. So it'll appear to be the same diameter, but really, like if you go really high, like where I am, then you will see the sun shrink for sure. I've tested it multiple times, multiple locations.
Right. So there's one here really cool. This is here in Japan, actually.
That's pretty cool.
This is in Japan. really far away. This is my friend Mary. She did it. Look at this tiny sun moving away. She just put this video out like 3 days ago.
Very cool.
And she's a realtor. She was visiting this house and to list it for sale. And then she decided to film the sun. You know, she's showing the house there. And then all of a sudden she said she keeps talking like, wow, look at the size of the sun, so tiny going away. You know? And she's not even a flat earther, you know. Yeah.
That's crazy.
So, and I don't know, you know, that's why sometimes I don't waste a lot of time with Globers, because some of them are just being disingenuous, you know, dishonest.
Yeah.
I mean, just go to South America, you see the sun shrinking, going away. Also moving faster, you know, it gets dark so fast in the south in the summer because the sun just moves faster.
Mm-hmm. Absolutely. Yeah, I kind of laid back on the debating for sure, because you don't know, like nowadays, if they're even robots or AI to begin with. You know,
Right.
you
Yeah.
get on their
You will just,
profile, it's like, dude, you're not even a real person. Like, I'm not gonna debate artificial intelligence. You know, like, but usually when people are being genuine and they're asking like genuine questions, then you can kind of like vibe them out for a minute. But then if they start being condescending, it's like, dude, you're just trying to make things escalated. So delete, block, by.
yeah. I want to share this. Victoria is here. Victoria is from Norway, and she is a flat earth biblical cosmology, and she has put together a website for people from different nationalities. It's called Rakia Community or Rakia Community, and I'm going to place the link in the chat. So the heavens declare the glory of God, and the firmament show His handwork. Psalm 19:1. And she's making content in different languages: Denmark, France, Germany, Italy, Japan. I can't read that. Portugal, Spain, Sweden, UK, USA, Zimbabwe. I think she's from Sweden, not or Denmark, something like that. So, all right. So I'm gonna place the link here, Rakia Community. Feel welcome to join in, put your comments, and that shows how Flat Earth is growing. Okay.
Yeah, I kind of got an idea maybe and run kind of by Kevin. I build websites on the side, just kind of messing around. And I've saved a bunch of domain names. And one of the domain names I saved is Flat Earth Homepage. And then I also saved the Flat Earth Dome page, which they were kind of, to me, were the same, right? So I was like, well, what would be kind of fun to do is kind of, one of the things I liked that Dave had done in the past was, on his app, he had like a one central place where you could like have a hub, a focus point with all the best content, and I thought we should probably get some guys together and do that with the homepage or the dome page, and even add websites like that one, so people can start finding it easier, and the whole community will know, well, if we go to one spot, I haven't built anything on them yet, but we have the domain names. And I was like, well, those would be easy ones to remember, easy to search, and to pass around. I think as a community, we might want to start thinking of just a way to consolidate information, sort of like Dave had done. That's one of the things. I used to have the app, and I like the idea of having a place to research easily, because like, honestly, some of these people that you brought up, and I've never seen them before. They've had pages around for a long time. I'm like, they are definitely shadow banned, and they're definitely, so if we could figure a way around that and have one centralized location where everybody knows it's a place to go to I just kind of would like your guys' help, and anybody's comments on that as far as what we could do with it would be cool.
No, it's a really cool idea. I like that. So there's one FE Vids you can go to. I don't know if it's .com or not, but there's another one, True Earth Wiki. That one's a really good one. I actually have that one in the link in the description of Flat Earth Advanced, if you want to check that out, Rick. But doing something like that would be super cool. There's actually like a search bar on True Earth Wiki to where you can look up like whatever subject, and it'll bring up like different articles on that subject and different videos, which makes things super helpful. So if we did something like, that would be super cool.
Yeah, just be nice to link everybody's contact information that's interested And of course, you know, I'm like Eddie. One of my biggest things is I'm about biblical cosmology. You know, I love the science, I love the things, but you know, I'm not really, that whole unequally yoked thing has automatically been a problem. And you know, when Jaron made that comment, I used to watch Jaronism until he made the comment about Jesus Christ that made me unsubscribe. You know, I'm like, I'm not gonna. So I mean, I really don't have time for that type of thing. So I'm kind of leaning towards, you know, how do you pick to put on something like that? Even that's why I guess I kind of want your guys' or anybody's input. You know, I wouldn't want to build it myself because then I'd feel like I don't know enough. And you obviously were able to see through a lot of it, a lot of those people before most. It would be a big help to have input from everybody. But
yeah, absolutely. If you needed help, just reach out. I can give you my contact.
Sounds like a plan.
Mm-hmm.
All right, Kevin, about those compilations I've been putting together, you know, the thing is like TikTok lately also has been censoring, especially flat earth stuff. So to make, you know, you said that you took, I heard you saying, Gene, I think you started your video, Flat Earth Advanced, like last year, you know, took you like 8 months or so, you know?
Yeah.
So editing takes a long time. And some of those people on TikTok, sometimes they spend 2 hours to put together a 1 minute video. And it gets shadow banned like immediately, you know, immediately. Yes, man. I myself, I displayed here my TikTok. I have one video that is close to 1 billion views. I mean, 1 million views.
Mm-hmm.
And then the following is like 100 views, you know, the way they shadow banned, you know. So that's why I decided to put them together into compilation. So give them a little bit of more life, you know, because those videos are buried. You cannot find them. So I try to put them together and make those compilations to give them a little bit more life, and also kind of encourages, you know, that are people out there talking about flat earth and showing the difference that's been making their lives, you know. A lot of them start with flat earth, and next step they are accepting Jesus Christ, you know, they are following the Messiah. And that's wonderful, man. This is nice, you know. So it's good to hear what other people have to say, you know, like, yeah, okay, it makes sense, you know. So that's what I've been doing. And I used to do it every day, but now I just don't find as many as before.
Mm-hmm.
You know, when you go, even in TikTok today, if you go type flat earth search, they bring up anti-flat earth videos.
Yep.
You know, it used to be different, but now it's really hard.
Mm-hmm. I feel like, I think it's cool to see like a lot of people's different content too. It's like, hey, this is being accepted on a larger scale than a lot of people are aware of. And when you get to see it from so many different people day in and day out, it's like, okay, maybe I can speak out too. Type
Yeah.
of thing. So that's what I'm hoping motivates people to do, you know?
Yeah. And you know, I'm very impressed by Professor Afonso's testimony, and he did it in Portuguese. So I added. I think I used the AI to translate something like that, and it's a wonderful testimony, man. He was head of a department in geophysics and seismologist. He owns some stuff in Brazil that only the government of the United States owns, you know, like he imports for himself, like stuff that he uses in seismology, you know. So he knows what he's talking about. And you know, you study earth sciences. I study earth science as well. So that one point he points out a lot, Kevin, is that the whole geography, geology, geophysics, we are we have to bound down to astronomy, because astronomy dictates the shape of the Earth. But when, as geophysicists or geologists, when you look, it's not like that. You know, the layers of the Earth. You know, he knows. He tells, you know, like everybody says, okay, there is this inner core, the outer core, which is molten iron. But he knows that the viscosity of that is zero. Zero viscosity is water. So that goes back to what the Bible says, that the earth is brought out of the water and in the water, just like 2 Peter 3:5. So what's under the whole thing? It's water. It's not molten iron, you know?
Mm-mm.
I mean, it's nice, you know, like that's why sometimes when somebody comes to me talking about the stars, they say, "Oh, let's talk about the earth," you know? Forget about the stars. Geo, that's what we are right here. We are GPS, means geographic positioning system, not global. It's geographic.
I like that. I like that a lot.
Yeah, man, it's all about geo. It's not about the sky.
Uh-huh. But even a lot of the phenomenon that happens in the sky makes perfect sense on the flat Earth.
Yes,
So,
yeah. It doesn't match the globe. Even if you go back to that animation here, okay? Let me share real quick here. This animation, man, forces globers to claim that Earth is moving, but the whole thing here is stationary. You know, you gotta believe that the Earth is spinning, but the whole, you know, what do they call this? Is that celestial globe? There's a name for this. What is
celestial sphere.
Yeah, celestial sphere. You gotta believe that the whole celestial sphere is stationary and only the Earth is spinning because there's no parallax.
Yeah. No parallax. Mic drop.
Yeah. You know, so you know, if they bring this up and say, okay, so you claim that the whole celestial sphere is stationary on Earth is spinning, you know, I mean, so there is an old animation by the U.S. Navy, I guess. I want to play here. It's about the celestial sphere, actually, or celestial navigation. Let me add the video here real quick. It's going to be this one.
Man's concept that the Earth is stationary, we imagine the celestial bodies on the celestial sphere to rotate from east to west. Over the years, astronomers have selected 57 easily identifiable stars on the celestial sphere for navigational purposes. The rest can be disregarded. In addition, navigators have traditionally used the planets Venus, Mars, Jupiter, and Saturn, the Earth's moon, and the sun. Polaris, or the North Star, is approximately at the celestial North Pole, and the rest of the sphere appears to revolve around it. Every celestial body has a point on the Earth directly below it. This is called the geographic position, or GP, of the celestial body. Sometimes it is called the subpoint. You are at that body's GP when it is directly overhead at your zenith. Remember, stars appear to move, however, they do not change their position relative to one another. So even though the celestial sphere appears to be moving, the prime hour circle and the hour circles of the stars maintain constant relative positions. So the sidereal hour angles, as well as the declinations of the various stars, are considered fixed.
Using ancient man's concept that the Earth is stationary, we imagine the celestial
All right, there you have it, you know.
Look, that makes a lot of sense under their model. The only issue that I really see with it is those stars are light years away. They're not inside of a little globe the way they're trying to say, and that they're stationary. You know what I'm saying? They're trying to say they're right here, right around us, and we are the ones spinning. But when you start talking about millions of light years away, how big is that celestial globe that's moving with us at a million zillion miles an hour? So none of it makes any sense.
That's funny. That's good, Rick. Thanks.
Yeah, I think in your video, one of the things you brought up was that whole radius thing, how important the radius of the Earth is. When we understand the mathematical radius, I mean, most people don't realize that the whole heliocentric thing falls apart if they don't have to maintain the numbers of 1,000 miles an hour spin, everything since they have to maintain those numbers, that really works for our advantage when you start talking about curvature, because because they, like you were showing, they can't make the ball bigger. They'd like to say the reason you can't see is because it's bigger. It's farther than that. But then it throws off the radius and throws off their numbers as far as speed, seasons, everything revolves around those numbers. So
Absolutely.
I enjoyed the video that you made, man. It was really cool.
Thank you so much. I put a lot into that. But the reason I added that part is because I know that's a lot of people's scapegoat. It's like, oh, it has to be a sphere, right? It's just bigger than what they're telling us. It's like, no, if 1 mile is off, then the entire heliocentric religion is down the drain.
Yeah,
like,
I got it. I loved that part.
Yeah, thank you. Appreciate it.
So I'm gonna share your YouTube channel here, so people can go ahead and watch it. So this is Kevin's YouTube channel, and we are talking about his video, Flat Earth Advanced, where he explains here the radius. He goes deep into the math, and nobody can deny it. I mean, there's no denying. He breaks down the formula, the radius, the H1 here, D1, this distance here. Would you mind to go over a little bit here, Kevin?
Well, we can.
I mean, just break down here. I know this is the radius here, the H1. I forgot the horizon. Is that the horizon, right?
No, H1 is what we're trying to solve for. That's what we're trying to solve for.
Oh, yeah. That's right. That's right.
Curvature is over a certain distance, right? So we have R, which is the radius. We have D1, we have H1, and then we have R, which is the radius, right? So at this point is what I'm doing is I'm using the distributive property. So I'm doing R times R, which is R squared. And then R times H1 is R times H1. And then I do it again. And in the next scene where it's H1 times R and then H1 times H1. So that's where the rest of the equation will come out. If you play the rest, then that's what you would see.
Yeah, that's fine. Now, so guys, if you want to watch the whole video, I'm going to place a link here in the chat. Very nice. I mean, it's sad that, years ago, I've been searching old videos, Flat Earth videos. 2015, you would have like 500,000 views,
Who knows, though? Who knows how many views I really have?
Yeah, we don't know because they hide.
Yeah, because they hide them, right? Because they don't want this to seem credible, right? And like I showed in the TFV video that I made, how to spot a psyop, I caught them sabotaging my views. It said one video said I had like 3,000 or 4,000 likes or whatever it was, but I only had like 400 views. It's like, wait, how do I have thousands of likes but only a couple hundred views? It's like you guys were caught messing up, and I took a screenshot of it. Thank God I did on my phone, and then I went back and I checked it not long after, and then they fixed it, and I was like, okay, it's like you guys do not have your ducks in a row, apparently. And another way you can tell that they're sabotaging the views, or at least corrupting the actual link, is the actual URL will change. So what I always do after I download my video onto YouTube, I will save the URL and I will email it to myself. So I'll have the original one. And that's the one I always share with my friends and family. But then if you go on to my YouTube channel and click on it again, like I did like a couple of days ago, the URL changes. It's like, why is my URL staying the same? It's like they're doing something to that video. You know what I mean?
Yeah, by changing the URL, they can actually start it over. It actually kind of starts, it like erases all the ones of the previous URL is what it would seem to do.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I think they reset. I think, they at Google, YouTube, whatever, they have a division just for Flat Earth, man, just to mess up with Flat Earth videos.
That's pretty much what they were saying at that Senate hearing. What are you guys going to do about this? They were asking them straight out. Well, we're going to put some stickers over it. And we're going to, basically they said, we're doing what we can to get rid of it. But obviously, like we said earlier, the more they resist, all it does is bring out the truth seekers. We're used to digging for stuff. We're not,
right.
We expect it not to be laying on the surface, because anything that's valuable needs to be sought after. And God's told us that, we're supposed to seek and you will find. He ain't going to just put it on your table for you. So it's a mission.
Yeah, I feel you. Sometimes what I do is I'll look up things on DuckDuckGo and then look them up on Google just to kind of compare the two. But a lot of the videos that I found that I used, I actually found on DuckDuckGo.
So there is a difference you're finding.
Oh yeah, absolutely. When it comes to images, videos that come up, everything.
All right. All right, guys, we are getting close to the end of the show. As you guys know, my show goes from 75 to 90 minutes. It's a Monday morning here in Japan, kind of busy, got work to do. So I really appreciate, Kevin, you took time. Appreciate you, the work you put into this Flat Earth Advanced video.
Sure.
Several months you had the help of your daughter. God, may the Lord continuously bless you, your family, your daughter. Knowledge, grace and everything. I really do appreciate you taking the time to be here with us today.
Absolutely. It's like I said, it's always an honor being here with you, Eddie. But I thank you for those kind words at the end. That meant a lot to me. I really appreciate you, and keep up the great work as well.
Thank you. And please, man, this is your mi casa tu casa.
You told me that. You've told me that before, and I will never forget that, bro.
Yes.
You were there for me during a very dark period of my life, and I'm not going to forget that. So I really appreciate you.
Anytime, man, you want to join in and just talk about it, I have some ideas or whatever, just, send a message, join me. Most of the times I'm here. Rick, it's been a pleasure. We've been talking a lot, and we will be talking more, during the week.
Yeah, I just appreciate that you guys let me come on and talk, because like I said, I enjoyed the video so much, and I had been talking to Eddie about it. In fact, I brought it up to him and he goes, "Hey, he's going to be on my show." And I was like, "Oh, good." But then he said, "You can come on if you want." And actually, to be totally honest with you, I've never been on a podcast ever. This is my first time I've ever got to visit with somebody. So, I'm learning, I'm thinking about doing more of it myself. And so I was like, well, what an opportunity to actually get to see Kevin and ask him, some of these questions and let him know how much we do appreciate the work. That's a lot of work. So just glad.
Thank you. Yeah. Thank you so much, Rick. And for the record, you did great for your first podcast, because I would not have guessed that this was your first one. So the fact that you got to be on Eddie's show for your first podcast.
Isn't that cool?
That's a great way to break the ice, for sure.
Yeah.
Yeah. But, Rick is, good friend, brother in Christ, truth seeker. This is what we need.
Absolutely.
All right, guys. For all of you who's been today with us, thank you so much. May the Lord bless each and every one of you. Kevin, I can't thank you enough for being here today. Rick, any last words from you to the public that are watching you guys?
Just keep seeking truth. Keep praying for discernment. If you need help with that, then God will be there for you. Like Rick said earlier, seeking you shall find, knock and the door be opened. So it's something you have to seek for. So if you're blessed with the word of wisdom, if you're blessed with the word of knowledge, if you're blessed with speaking in tongues, if you're blessed with the interpretation of tongues, then use it. Use it to glorify God's kingdom.
All right, Rick.
All I can say is thank you guys again, and amen for Kevin, working young man like that, strong, and being out there doing it. That's gives us all encouragement to see guys like you out there standing strong.
Thank you. Thank you again. I appreciate you.
All right, guys. Thank you, everybody, for being here today. A lot of good people in the chat. I wasn't able to keep up with the chat. Yuko, my sister in Christ here in Japan, Victoria, Crystal, all of you. Idon Horse from Australia was here. Yashadel. So many great people. We'll be back next weekend if the Lord so allows me to. And Kevin and Rick, I'm just going to end the show, so I'm not going to be talking in studio, okay? So whenever this song is playing, if you want to talk to each other, maybe, all right? But I'm just going to end the show. Got some stuff to do, all right?
All right.
So thanks, everybody. May the Lord bless each and every one of you. We're going to be closing the show now with Dave J. Carroll. Strato Curious. Okay, so see you guys next weekend. Bye-bye.
Wonderful, magical, celestial light, fantastical, mystical, wonderful sight. Belgian Swiss physicist Auguste Piccard what? 1931, first to reach for the stars, was the first to explore the air. View stratospherious, a scientist curious to see what was there. An aluminium black ball on a helium balloon, with photos and instruments, sailed towards the moon. Rose in just half an hour, 52,000 feet, 10 miles up, depth air pressure, up a dead drop in heat and cold, but disproving gravity. Wonderful, mystical, beautiful sight. Flat line separation of black from blue light. A world run by deceivers, false make-believers, hiding in shadows, stealing our light. Mystical, fluorescent light. Wonderful, magical, awesome. Yes, stealing our light. Wonderful, legendary light. Supernatural, eternal, up we go. Higher than rainbows, higher than mountains, above cumulonimbus, higher than air. High level horizon, 360 around us, back right round behind us, any height that you dare. The sun and the moon both revolve above around us, to forever short time pass intelligently there. You'll never beat us, you'll never defeat us, no more you deceive us, we keep you like air. Kipper and Picard were the first ever known to reach up there. Divine luminescent light, mystical, wonderful, celestial light. So what was their eternal testimony? What did they report back to humanity? Said it seemed like a flat disk far as eyes can see, with an upturned edge fading into infinity. A mystical, ethereal, celestial sight, a divine creation, a clockwork of light, designed hid by deceivers and false make-believers, still cowering in shadows, still fearing our light. Here we go, higher than Everest, higher than airplanes, above zero cumulus, higher than air. A level horizon, 360 around us, no motion beneath us, no spinning, no stars on the firmament, turning all around us to forever short time past geometrically there. You'll never beat us, you'll never defeat us, forever beneath us, we see through you like air. Mystics of illuminant light, fantastical, magical, bright. We see through you like air. Magical angels of light, beautiful, wonderful, celestial light. The first to see truth when they reach for the stars, explorers and physicists, Kipper and Picard. Never you'll defeat us, forever beneath us, we see through you like air.